Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I am continuing my Friday night fish edition here guys. Here in the South we have some kind of fish, fried fish, or whatever kind of fish you like. So today I'm going to be doing a nice stew, fish, and tomatoes dish. So we're going to jump into this video and I'm going to show you exactly how I get it done. Alright guys, so for this recipe right here, I have some nice good trout right here that I already seasoned up. I just seasoned it with some Old Bay seasoning. And I have a piece of sausage that I had from a previous dinner that I didn't eat. And I have some red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and onions. I'm going to be using a little bit of butter. That's unsalted butter. Some onion powder. And I'm going to be using a little bit of garlic powder. Some black pepper. And this is some Italian seasoning. And I'm going to be using my tomato bouillon. And I'm going to use a little bit of sugar just to sweeten everything up. And some diced tomatoes. I prefer whole tomatoes, but I have diced, so we are going to make it work. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do here is come in and add a little olive oil to my pan. And I didn't mention the olive oil in the beginning, but we're going to use that just to brown my fish, just a little bit. I'm really funny with my seafood, guys. I don't like my seafood like really boiled or anything. I like to kind of fry it first just to get a little bit of that fishy taste off of it. So you'll never see me like just boiling shrimp or boiling fish or anything like that. So I'm just going to get these inside of this pan and just let it cook for a few minutes. I'm not making a really big dish, guys. This is just going to be enough for me for 2 meals. So I'll let that cook on one side for a couple of minutes and then I will be back. Alright, so I am back now. I'm going to go ahead and give these a flip. And I'm going to let these cook on the other side for a minute or two. I'm not worried about getting them completely done. I just want to get rid of that fishy taste that it has sometimes. And they'll continue to cook inside of the stew and get completely done. So I will be back in a minute or so and get these out. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get my fish out of here. And we are going to just set this aside. Now these aren't completely done. They only cook for like a minute per side. Alright, so we're going to get this last one out. And guys, this last one gave me a little fight to come out. But eventually we got it. Now I'm going to come in and add my onions and bell peppers to it. And I have these sliced pretty thin so that they don't take too long to cook down. So I'll just let those cook down while I get this piece out that still had the label on it, or the sticker on it. So I'll let those cook down and then I will be back. Alright, so this is how my onions and bell peppers look after cooking down for maybe about 6 to 7 minutes. And now I'm going to come in and add my diced tomatoes to it. And I'm only going to be using 1 can of this because I'm going to be the only one eating it. So that's going to be enough for me for a couple of meals. just get these mixed together. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add 1 cup of water to this. Now for you fancy people, you could add wine to it. Gina, don't drink all of the wine. But I'm just going to add 1 cup of water to it. And then I'm going to start seasoning this with my different seasonings that I have, starting with my black pepper. And I don't want to put too much black pepper inside of this, guys. Alright, then I'm going to add some onion powder to it. That Old Bay seasoning that I'm using on the fish has a little heat to it also. So that's why I didn't want to use too much black pepper. Then I'm going to add a little onion powder to it. Alright, then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some of this Italian seasoning. Alright, and then I'm going to come in and add a little sugar to it, just to cut the acidity of that tomato. But first, this is my tomato bouillon that I'm adding right now. And that's the only salt that I'm going to be adding. That tomato bouillon has salt in it, so I'm not going to have to add any more salt to it. But now I'll come in and add my sugar to this. And I know that some tomato products already have sugar in it, but to me it's never enough to really get rid of that bitter taste, so I always come in and add a little sugar to it myself. So I'm just going to get that mixed in, get everything well incorporated, and then I'm going to cover this and bring it to a boil and just let it kind of boil until my peppers get tender, and then I will be back. Alright guys, so I let this cook down for maybe about 10 minutes. Just had it covered, letting it cook, and you can see that this has reduced a little bit. I wanted to reduce a little bit more. If you want yours a little bit more, with a little bit more liquid, you can definitely stop it at this point. But I want mine to cook down a little bit more and let my peppers get a little bit more tender. So I covered it back and let it cook for like another 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, I decided to add some corn to it. And that is optional. The corn and the sausage is optional, guys. Alright, so I'll just get that mixed in. And then I'm going to cover it one more time and let it reduce a little bit more. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add a little butter to this. Alright guys, I am back. You can see that this is just bubbling away. This is almost to the point where I want it. So now I'm going to come in and add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And what that's going to do is add a little bit of flavor, a little bit more flavor, I should say, to this. And it's going to help to actually thicken the sauce on it. So I'm just going to get that butter worked in, let it melt. Alright, and once I get that worked in and all melted, then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put my fish inside of here. My fish is already half the way done, so it's only going to take maybe another 5 minutes or so to be completely done. So I'll just go ahead and get all of these down inside of here. And I'm not going to cover it back, guys. I want this to reduce a little bit more for my liking. So once I get my fish in, I'm just going to leave it on a high fire, uncovered, and just let it finish cooking just like that. Alright, that's the last piece of fish, so I will be back once this is completely done. Alright guys, I am back and this dish is done. You can see that my liquid has reduced. My fish is looking good. Sausage and corn. My vegetables are nice and tender. So what I'm going to do now is just come in with my spoon just to show you how the broth on this is looking. That butter thickening it up really good. And guys, you can eat this on rice, mashed potatoes, or you could have some nice crusty bread. Man. Alright guys, so I'm going to plate this up and I am going to give it a taste test for you guys. I know it's good. Alright guys. Let's give this a quick taste test right here. Got me some nice fish stew, however you want to call it. This is some trout. Alright. Nice tender trout. Get that first bite right there. Still a little hot. Trout, tomatoes, green and red bell pepper and onions. Let's give it a taste. Boy, that's good. My Italian seasoning, that tomato bouillon. And then that fish I seasoned with just the Old Bay. That's real good. And I like that sugar and that tomatoes. Don't judge me, guys. I like my tomatoes kind of sweet. Alright guys, I am about to go in. Alright guys, this was an absolutely delicious meal. This thing was packed with flavors. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, Cooking and Chilling with Kenny. And turn on your post notification, guys, so you'll know when I upload a new video. My next video is going to be a breakfast meal. I'm thinking liver and onions. So until then, guys, peace.